Friends, when we people who mean well for the world, when we are doing our efforts, when we are trying to think about whole humanity, we do several things. When we meet so many people, different kinds of people, etc. So when we speak with each other, it's not just us, anywhere. When we speak with each other, there are three kinds of language. One is Ganitatmak Bhasha, second is Gunatmak Bhasha, third is Karanatmak Bhasha. So why people who are well versed in Ganitatmak Bhasha and Gunatmak Bhasha feel people who know and speak the language of Karanatmak Bhasha? Ganitatmak is mathematical language, Gunatmak is uh, based on the merit. Your analysis would be based on merit of something that is you're talking that what you're talking about. And Karanatmak Bhasha is the cause and effect kind of relation that you are talking about when you are discussing and trying to understand anything. You talk about if this is the effect, what should be the cause? If this is the cause, what will be the effect? This is how you analyze and you try to understand reality as is, and you try to improve it if the current status is not as per reality. Now, when we try to talk to each other to improve the system, sometimes some funny things happen. Even those people who ought to talk Karanatmak Bhasha, they talk Gunatmak or Gunatmak is even better, but they talk Ganitatmak Bhasha. Okay. So there is one Mr. Dr. Pradeep Kumar Ramanchalla. I am taking his name because he is anyway public figure. He has spent a lot of time and energy and attention in his life to spread a great philosophy called Madhyas Darshan Jivan Vidya in Telugu states. He has done a lot. He's a good position, well positioned person. I know him in person. So when I was attending his class, so he said, he generally says that we need to be kind in our response. So response and reaction. Okay. So when response, what is response and reaction? Reaction is without thought and without care for the other person. You just react to a situation immediately, impulsively. Okay, that is reaction, and response is measured, reasoned reaction from you. So with responsibility, whatever you do, that is response. So we were talking about it. So I asked him a question like, see, you are responding for the first time, second time, third time, fourth time. But if that person and that person has conveyed that that person agrees with you for all this first time, second time, third time, but that person is repeating the same behavior or the same circumstance that caused the dispute in the first and second and third, fourth times, while having said earlier that that person understood, which means that person would not repeat it. Whatever that person is doing, he can do something else, but not that. He agreed. He himself or she herself agreed to that. Still, when that person does it, then you might have to show some impulsiveness, right? That will be natural, and that other person should understand. So, what is the problem? Is the problem with good people also most of the time. Whenever I see this, there's a it's a great disturbance in clarity. What is it is there is one action, there is the second action is the reaction or the response for this second action. The second action can be right or wrong. The second action, see, if the first action we are talking about is wrong anyway, we are agreeing. The second action should be right, is what people expect. Fine. So first time it is right action as a response to the wrong action. Second time also it is the right action in response to the wrong action. Third time, this person who is carrying on the right action to the wrong action as a response to the wrong action, this person is observing what is happening with great effort. See, right action takes more effort than committing wrong action. So when the irresponsible people, when they are committing wrong actions, When you are in response committing right action as a response to prevent that wrong thing to happen again, wrong is like whatever hurts everyone, etc. Again, so you will do it right for the second time, third time, fourth time also, most of the time. You will have there is a limit to your patience. There is a limit to how good you can feel about your right action. Okay. So if 3 to 4 times you are consistently taking right action with good faith, then there is no value to that right action, even though you did it with great sense of responsibility. Then why would this person who is taking this right action have any incentive to repeat that right action even if it is so difficult? Why? No incentive, right? Then this person will, to stop this first wrong action, might employ some wrong action in a limited way, in a deliberate way, to stop this wrong action, so that this wrong person who is committing wrong also will understand that it's not that these other people are incapable of doing the wrong action or cause harm to you, but they're not causing harm. So that is superiority. This person has to detect that superiority in the other person. Okay. Then these so-called people who preach goodness, they come and punish this second person who is doing that second wrong thing, that as a reaction to the first wrong thing, and supports this first person who is committing that wrong as an ignorant person, so that person will do it, so that person can do it. But you cannot show wrong action any number of times. You have to continue with your right action, which is simply stupid. This is, of course, Gandhian and all that. But then anyway, this is stupid. So the example was, so I gave at that time in the class my question and I gave an example. Suppose there is one person who feeds you out of love. I mean, who likes to call guests, invite them to lunch or dinner. And when they're eating, uh, that person who is eating can decide how much they can eat and how much that person cannot eat. Okay. So when you ask, shall I give you more curry, more dal, etc., then that person will decide whether that person wants or not. If that person is not accepting, you feel offended. You feel that either your dish is not tasty enough, or etc., or that person is hesitating, etc. You would offer the second time. When the person says no, you can just accept that no, but you are not listening. You are thinking you will be counted as a very generous person, very loving person if you offer more and more food. So that is how Indian minds think. We all know that, right? So when you face something like that, a person like that, after repeatedly telling them that I won't hesitate and I want to feel happy about the dinner or lunch. Okay, it's not just about the food; it is about the connection that we are here for. So I would have great impression about you, even if I don't eat in quantity terms as much as you, because it is quality terms. Each person eats in a different quantities depending on various other factors. So even if you are, after explaining that, this person continues to do so, how would you do a deal? What is the response and not reaction? Do you know what he said? He said, I will, when I go to the lunch next time, I will take 10 people along with me. I will make all of them eat all of that so that I will get so much less. And this person cannot force feed me. It was totally unexpected, this answer. So we all laughed, had a hearty laugh about it because it is so ingenuine and innovative. And the topic drifted and it went on to something else. But is this an answer really? This is a mathematical answer. But can you really do it? You are invited to lunch. Can you take 10 people along with you to someone else's house? suddenly and make them all eat all of it, so that you will just so that you will have that much less. You cannot, right? This means it is Ganitatmak Bhasha. It is mathematical language which is used only to give a reply or a counter reply to someone and just get entertained. This is not a real answer. But at that point of time, when you're receiving that answer for the first time, it looks as if this is some answer. But your mood is changed, so you just get, uh, you know, you just go with the flow at that time. Correct? So this is the problem. When we don't have answer, we don't say we don't have answer. We say something, and then that has to match. I mean, we think it matches mathematically. Then you will try to support that because it matched mathematically. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do it. But practically, it is not. It does not match, right? Anyway, I try to point it out because, for example, I was explaining something to one of these people, and different Mr. Ravikant in Maharike Vidyalayam. I will take his name because I know him personally, and this is a fact. And there's no problem. He might agree with me also. Anyway, so I was explaining something, then I was just giving an example. I said that this is like oil and this is like water, so both don't mix in general. I just use that language because that is what I heard as example. Immediately, you know what is that? So this is what wrong logic is, etc. If that person is water and this, if you are oil, then you can become curry because oil and water goes together in a curry well. I was amused by that. It sounded really good, and the topic again drifted. So I didn't say anything, but that example has some effect on you, right? So you will have to think about it. Then I didn't answer at that point of time, but later I clearly understood that they did not match. See, upama means analogy. Analogy, you can take any number of analogies, but analogy should be right. It should match the situation, right? So analogy did not match when I thought about the facts of the case, etc. Whatever we are talking, but the analogy was good. So just because of the power of analogy, we are paused in our thinking and analysis for long time. This is mathematical language. So mathematical language can be used in any way by anyone to stop being questioned for some time. It can be used to manipulate, but it does not take us far. It does not take us deep. It does not solve problems really. Okay, and you are stuck with that because the communication, it's one of the factors where the communication between people is stopped, obstructed. So we have to be aware of mathematical language, whether we really want to shut the other person's mouth or we really want to have an answer. If we have an answer, we give. If we don't have an answer, we ask that person whether that person has an answer. If we don't have answer, both of us, then we will find that answer together, all of us. It will be beneficial for whole humanity, right? Why should one answer be only one person's property? Every answer to every real question, every real answer to every real question helps whole humanity. Thank you for listening.